I never believed in ghosts or spirits until that night. It was the night I saw the shadows dance around the old palace, where a kind princess once lived. Her name was Princess Amina, and her story still haunts me. Amina was known for her kindness. She cared for everyone in her village, sharing food and helping the sick. But there was a secret about her that few knew. Amina had a special gift: she could speak to the spirits of the forest. They whispered to her, guiding her in her good deeds. The villagers loved her and believed she would be their protector forever. But one day, a terrible drought came. The rivers dried up, and crops failed. People began to suffer, and whispers of blame filled the air. They said it was Amina's fault for talking to spirits instead of praying to the gods. Desperate to save her people, Amina ventured deep into the forest to seek help from the spirits. That night, I was just a girl, curious and brave. I followed Amina into the woods, hiding behind trees as she walked deeper into the darkness. I watched as she reached a clearing filled with ancient stones. The air felt heavy, and I could hear whispers that sent chills down my spine. Amina knelt before a large stone and began to chant softly. Suddenly, shadows emerged from the trees, dark figures swirling around her. I wanted to run, but my feet felt glued to the ground. The shadows danced closer, whispering secrets I couldn't understand. Then something changed. A loud crack echoed through the forest, and a shadowy figure stepped forward, a spirit with glowing eyes. It towered over Amina, who looked both terrified and determined. She pleaded for rain, for her people's lives depended on it. The spirit listened but demanded a price. Amina had to give up her voice forever. She hesitated but knew she had no choice. With tears in her eyes, she agreed. The spirit raised its hands, and a storm brewed above us. Rain poured down like a blessing. But as Amina stood up, something terrible happened. Her voice was gone, replaced by an eerie silence that swallowed the night. The shadows laughed softly as they faded back into the trees. The next day, rain fell on our village like we had never seen before. Crops grew strong again, and people rejoiced. But Amina was different. She no longer spoke or sang. She smiled kindly but never uttered a word again. Years passed, and Amina became a ghost of herself, still kind but trapped in silence. One night, I returned to that clearing as an adult, hoping to find some peace for myself after all those years. As I stood there alone under the moonlight, I felt a chill in the air. Shadows began to gather around me again, just like that night long ago. My heart raced as I remembered everything. Suddenly, I saw her, Princess Amina, standing by the stone where she once prayed. She looked just as beautiful as before, but with sadness in her eyes that pierced right through me. I wanted to speak to her, to tell her how much we missed her voice. But when I opened my mouth, no sound came out, just a whispering wind that carried away my words. Amina raised her hand slowly and pointed toward the forest edge where shadows danced like they did years ago. I felt an urge to follow them, but also fear holding me back. In that moment of stillness, I understood. Amina was trapped between two worlds, the living and the spirits she once spoke with so freely. She had sacrificed everything for us but lost herself in return. The shadows beckoned me closer, whispering promises of knowledge and power if I would join them, if I would give up my voice too. I turned away from them and ran back to my village as fast as my legs could carry me. Behind me, I could hear faint whispers calling my name, trying to lure me back into darkness. To this day, I wonder what happened to Princess Amina and if she ever found peace among those spirits she loved so much. Sometimes at night when it's quiet, I can still hear faint whispers in the wind, a reminder of that unsettling night when shadows danced around a kind princess who gave everything for her people but lost herself in return. And now I know some secrets are better left untouched, because once you see them, they never really leave you alone again.